Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're at an actual racetrack, and I am so excited. Never have I ever been to a racetrack in a car. If you guys don't know a little bit about me, first of all, welcome. If you're new to the channel, sit down, relax, pop your feet up, have a snack, have a drink, and have a good time. I'm Project Radium. I love to build slow cars. And I used to race go karts. Not competitively, but competitive go karts, if that makes sense. I did that for like 2 to 3 years. And then I got cars and it went crazy. I've never been on a racetrack in a car before, and especially nothing this big. We are at Oregon Raceway Park here in Eastern Oregon, sorta. It's not really Eastern Oregon. It's getting there though. Beautiful landscape, beautiful sunsets and sunrises here. Absolutely fantastic. We are taking the Fiesta ST out tomorrow on Track Attack. So what that is it is a competitive deal. So I will be racing against. Hopefully we could beat Ken. Ken beat us last time at autocross. So let's see if we can get him this time. He has better part. He has coilovers and 200 treadway tires, but I'm just going to shut up about that. Let's hope I can just beat him anyway. So Track Attack is on a track, of course, but it's similar to autocross. So there's going to be cones and obstacles to go around. So it necessarily doesn't mean the fastest car takes it. There are some very high horsepower cars here, like a Corvette and an LS swapped GT86. But necessarily, it's not all horsepower. So it's kind of like autocross in the way of you have to go in the way of the cones, not hit a cone and weave your way through. But it is on a racetrack, so it's called a track attack. There are chicanes, gates to go through, and all that around the entire track. So it's not really in corners, so still take your corners the way you will, but basically any straight you could think of, there's slaloms, chicanes, gates, and stuff like that. So tonight we got here, we're going to be camping out because it's going to be bright and early, and it is quite a distance from my place. So I got the tent all ready. The ST is looking good. I got new tires for it. I do not have 200 treadwear tires. I have 280. I got Nitto Neogen tires. So hopefully they will be gripping way better than my last set. I don't have coils. I don't have lighter wheels. I have stock brakes. I have stock power. Only mods on my Fiesta ST are motor mounts and tires. That's it. So here we go. So tomorrow, starting at 7 a.m., nice and early, it's tech. So we're going to go get it teched. I need to put my numbers on, clean it up a little bit. And then tomorrow at 9 a.m., I am the first group out. We are going to be going around this track. I'm very excited. I've obviously never drove on this track before. I've never been here before. And sadly, my computer is dead. It's gone. So I couldn't even get it on a Assetto Corsa or something. So I don't even have any virtual laps. Most of the time I'll get mods for the tracks on a Assetto Corsa and virtually race it, but I couldn't even do that. So I'm going in completely blind except YouTube videos. So with that being said, let's get some sleep and let's resume tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get some video after tech and everything, and let's get on track with this awesome track. Very roller coastery. It's very up and down. A lot of camber, especially in the corkscrew in the back. Apparently it has similar degrees of camber that the first corner in Pocono Raceway has. So with that being said, let's get going. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, Future Wyatt here. I did make it back safely, so this is going to be me describing stuff kind of before I show the clips, so I could explain really what's going on so you know what to watch for in the next clip. So as you guys seen, I talked about what was going to be going down, and then I showed a clip of me rolling by. So what happened, I got my tech done. I couldn't really do any videos like before going out because they were really fast paced, get moving, which is good. Means more track time for everybody, so not a bad thing, in fact a really good thing. But got through tech, it went great, and we did 2 parade laps. There was no track walks of the track. It's a very long track and a lot of elevation change. It really is like a roller coaster. Your gut is moving around a lot. It's a lot of fun, tons of fun. So no track walk, but we had 2 parade laps to get it an idea. And again, remember, there's cones, chicanes, and all this stuff to get around. If you went the wrong way and you missed a gate, that's a disqualification of that run. No bueno. If you hit cones, it's 2 seconds a cone. So it's in your best interest to go easier on that first lap so that you don't get any of those penalties. Of course, that's easier said than done. Everyone there is there to compete and go quickly. So that first parade lap went well. And then the first run went pretty well as well for my first time ever being out there, for multiple reasons. That being said, I had a lot to work on. My launch off the get-go was lackluster, to say the least. I bogged it a little bit. In the second corner, like actual corner on the track, there's a slalom, goes into the first corner, into the second one. I overcooked those brakes bad. On the video, it actually doesn't look too bad, but it was a butt pucker moment, for sure. It's quite an elevation change going into that second corner. You can't see on video. I decided I wanted to see if I could brake late for some reason with cold tires and no experience on the track. And I decided to brake on the top of the hill, which is a terrible idea. Suspension's unloaded. You're not making good contact. You're not working with gravity. You're working against it. And ABS was kind of starting to come on, and I was going straight for not the track. It was a very scary moment, but I got it, and I had the bog motor to get it out, but we are good. Otherwise, it went well. I got a 2-minute flat and 0.711. So 2 minutes and 0.711. Not a great time, but for the first time ever being out there, a lot of people were already out there. It was good. First run, I beat Ken. He had a 2-minute and 4-second run, I believe. The timings are now gone. The live timing I cannot access, so it's all off the top of my dome. But it went decently well, didn't hit any cones, didn't go outside the gates, so was a clean run, even though it wasn't super fast. For a first run on both of our sakes, he's never been there either. It was a good run. And I do got to apologize before you see the clip. I kind of messed up the audio in this video, and I'm really bummed out about it. If you guys have been around, I have mics now. That's the one I'm wearing right now. And for example, like what I'm doing currently, for me to talk, I turned down my transceiver, transmitter down, so that the audio doesn't like peak and it's not too quiet at the same time. Of course, when I throw this on an exhaust or throw this into the engine bay, I have to turn this way down, or it'll peak the audio and sound terrible. But I messed up. When I put this one into the intake, I forgot to turn it down in the hurry of getting everything done. So you can't hear the exhaust. The exhaust is turned down to the right level. This one's not, and it was peaking a lot. So I'm hoping I could do some like editing magic and turn it down and make it not peak. But you won't be hearing any exhaust clips, as sad as that is. The intake and the exhaust mixed together make a great sound out of the Fiesta, like a really good sound, but you won't be having that, as sad as that is. Like, if you go back to my first autocross, like a month and a half ago, you'll get both of them, and it sounds great. This time, we're only going to have intake, which is still cool. You still get turbo noises and blow-off valve, but at the same time, it's a bummer. So I just want to say sorry about that. It's a bummer. I'm mad at myself for that, but at the same time, whatever. You still get the clips and some of the audio at least. So let me stop my yapping and let me get into the first clip and we'll discuss the next one after that. So I'll see you guys in just a second. All right, for run 2, it went way better than I thought. Obviously, I got a 2-minute flat, and I was already ahead of Ken, so the job at this point was stay ahead of Ken, no matter what it took. And of course, he's going to get faster too. He is a very good driver, really good guy. It's just a friendly rivalry, right? Really fun, so I need to stay ahead. So I decided I wanted to make up about 5 seconds on the second run, which was, it's kind of a big deal. 5 seconds is a lot of time, especially on track. But I figured from the mess up on corner 2, going that braking zone, I should probably be able to get to the 155. I talked to another gentleman that's raced here many times, and he told me I need to brake about right before you get to the top, when your suspension's loaded up and you're working with gravity, not against it. And what do you know? That worked great. If you compare this corner in this run to the first one, you can definitely see the difference, because you can't really tell too much in the first one. Made a big difference. Overall, this run was just way cleaner, way faster. I was just starting to, thankfully, I could memorize tracks pretty quickly. It was coming to me pretty good, and I was getting the hang of it. Again, have a lot to get, my gosh, words are hard. A lot to get used to still, figuring out where all the cones are. I'm not hitting as hard as I can be, of course, on some of the chicanes. I'm going pretty easy and just trying to figure out exactly how the elevation changes and what gears and stuff I need to be in. And I need to work on being more smooth, very aggressive with the steering wheel. But otherwise, pretty good run for the second run, all being said. And I ended up with a 150 flat. which was amazing. I got 10 seconds off my time in one run, which was amazing. From a 2-minute to a 150. I wanted 5 seconds. I got 10 seconds. Overall, it was great. We won't see a big of a jump from that point on because obviously that's crazy, but really good run. Let's watch the second run now. Second run. All right, and for the third run was cleanup time. Let's clean this up. Let's go a little bit faster in the cones. At this point, I felt pretty confident that I was understanding where almost every single cone was, chicane and everything of that nature by the third run. I was pretty confident that I knew where everyone was. Maybe not every single one, but at least to what point where I need to be on track, which was a big deal. So really this run was let's clean up my lines in the corners with elevation changes and all that. Let's become more smooth. Especially the second to last corner, maybe the third to last. My brake points need to be changed and in a couple other spots. So this was just a let's clean this up. The 150 was a good time. Let's do that again. But let's just clean up these brake zones and let's position my car a little bit better. I felt that my cone positions were actually pretty good, so let's just keep that where it is and let's just clean up the lap. If I can get to a 149, I'd be happy. And what do you know? Actually, I got a 146. That was huge. I was extremely ecstatic over the 146. I was just looking to get a 149. That was what I had as a goal for me and got better. Now, the fourth run was when tragedy struck. This is the bummer one, which made it a huge bummer because actually I decided this is a good one. I started to really smooth it out. I was really getting the hang of the track now. I was pushing where I needed to, being patient when I needed to be patient. One corner in particular that I can't really get into. I can't remember what number it was. It's the most patient corner of them all, right before the big straightaway that dips down, comes back up. Really important corner. It was a strong running. It was really strong running until the second to last gate. I came in too hot. I found the limit there, and what do you know? I missed it. Really kicking myself because I realized I was understeering and I was going to hit the cone, so I decided I'm going to steer out of it. Terrible decision by me. Good reflex, but terrible idea, because if you go outside the gate, it's a disqualification of the run. If I just would have hit it and ran it over and took it with me, that's only 2 seconds. So I should have just ran it over rather than going around it. I had an instant realization as I did it that I messed that up, and I was very upset. Biggest bummer too is it was a 144, so I knocked it down to a 146 to a 144, and I missed the gate and disqualified that run. So that was a tragedy, but see it for yourself, I guess. And I got a puppy down here. Yeah, puppy.
Fourth run.
Fifth run is equally as tragic on your guys' end. It's kind of a bummer. It's on the opposite end of the spectrum here. The fifth run was basically a do-over of the fourth run. For me, it was a redemption round. Let's get the 144 I could have gotten if I didn't mess it up. And sadly, this is the video where my SD card decided, yep, I'm full now, and it ended mid-run. It's a big bummer there. The second to last run ran out of storage. Thankfully, I had an extra GoPro sitting around with me just in case that happened. I swapped it out for the last run of the day, but yeah, that happened. But spoiler alert, I got the 144 and I got the gate because I realized the maximum attack that I could hit those last few gates and cones, and I didn't mess it up this time. So I ended up getting the 144 that I strived to get the first time. It was a 144.3, I think. It was going to be a 144.7, the one I missed. So I actually made a little bit of time. I'm really smoothing it out now. I have the track down at this point. It's now to the point to where I need to push harder in the coned areas. So fifth run went super well.
Fifth run. Let's not miss a gate.
All right, the sixth and final run of the day. This was for all the marbles. I made it from 2 minutes to 146 or 144, and I still wanted a little more. There was quite a bit where I still felt like I could definitely do better here. Places I could be a little more patient and be more aggressive. So this one I went full out. Last run of the day, I got my 144. Let's go for this. So let's be way more aggressive on the cones, way more aggressive on the brakes. This is the run where I used the most brakes for sure, and was most patient where I needed to be. I really got that second or third to last corner down. and it made all the difference. My last run of the day was a 142.2. Super, super exciting. That run was enough to win in my class for the day. I was extremely happy with that run. I feel like if I was able to do a couple more laps, we could have gotten down to the 139, down to 130s. It would have been awesome, but extremely happy with that. Here's the run. So, can a stock Fiesta ST run on track? Yes, very much can. And it would be absolute right to do so. As long as you have, good oil, all your antifreeze, you have good brake pads, and you have good tires. The tires I had on before in the video before, as you guys knew, I complained about that till the cows came home. Did not do the trick, but they certainly did now. At least these 280 try-to-wear Netto Neogens on the track did very well. Now, if I was going to hot lap them, like lap after lap after lap, if this was an open track day, I don't think they could do them. I think I'd get about 3 laps in and they'd be pretty cooked, and I'd have to sit out for a while, but wouldn't let them cool down and get them back out. They would not live very long. But in the term of this, where I'd come in and then you get to sit for about 15, 20 minutes until you get to come back out, and then it's your turn again, it did very well. I was extremely happy with how the car did. Understeer was at a very, very, at a minimum. Really started to understeer when I did something extremely wrong. Otherwise, the car was very lively in the rear. Many times I had to actually catch the rear because this car doesn't know it's front wheel drive. It always wants to come out in the best way. It's not uncontrollable. It's very controlling. The car has plenty of power. I didn't feel throughout the day that I was low on power. I'm like, man, I'm mad. I really need to up the boost and get more power. Never. This car has plenty of power. At some point, I do want to get a Cobb and get a stage one tune on it and just get slightly more. But I think, honestly, the biggest upgrades I could possibly do to this car, and I'd be extremely happy with it as a little track monster, is 200 tread-wear tires, better brake pads, lighter wheels, coilovers, and a LSD. The fact it doesn't have an LSD is a big bummer with this. Plenty of times I think I could have gotten a couple seconds a lap faster if I had an LSD. Many times I would just come out of the corner, especially the second corner, and one of the ones after the big corkscrews, where you would just come out and you'd floor it and you could just feel one of the tires just gasping for air and spinning. If this thing had an LSD, it would change the way this thing drove tremendously. It's a really big bummer that the STs didn't get them here in the States. The Mark 7s never got them. The Mark 8s had an option to have an LSD, but we never did. So LSD coils and lighter wheels would be chef's kiss on just amazing. Just the way it is a stock, you could definitely put it on track as long as you aren't doing lap after lap after lap. But it does such a good job. I had such a good time. We took the win today or yesterday in class, and I'm extremely happy with it. The next event will be next month in May. It'll be a standard autocross event at an air museum, so that'll be pretty cool. I've actually been to this one before in my Miata before I even had my YouTube channel, so stay tuned for that. We're going to be trying to get the lead in class because now me and Ken are tied for points. So this next event will determine if we can get ahead or right behind. So with that being said, or we both fall behind to someone else. With that being said, I do have a clip I'll be putting it in. I put my first lap of the day and my fastest lap of the day, so my last one together above each other, so you could actually see my progression as we go through. It was about 18 seconds faster by the end of the day, which is fantastic. So should you go track your Fiesta ST? Heck yes, you should. Absolute blast of a time. Worth every penny and worth the loss of sleep, because it was misery sleeping out there in the wind and on the asphalt. I actually slept in my car for a lot of it. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Have fun, last lap.